Welcome. This is great that you're taking time to do some formal practice here and, in a way, relating to the world, relating to your body in a way that's intentional. And this really is then can really shift our relationships with ourselves and others in some beautiful ways. So today, our practice is going to um, revolve around the space of the chest. I could just say physically the space of the chest with the physical awareness of what's going on. And then we just moved very naturally into seeing um, any tension or just anywhere that we're kind of crushing in our own energy and our energy isn't flowing. And it just feels better when things are free and open and flowing. Um, I am going to share a little quote here, and this is from Thich Nhat Hanh. He says, "The secret of creating peace is that when you listen to another person, you have only one purpose: to offer them an opportunity to empty their heart. If you are able to keep that awareness and compassion alive in you, then you can sit for 1 hour and listen, even if the person's speech contains a lot of wrong perceptions, condemnations, and bitterness. You can continue to listen because you are already protected by the nectar of compassion in your own heart. If you do not practice mindful breathing in order to keep that compassion alive, however, you can lose your own peace. Irritation and anger will come up, and the other person will notice and will not be able to continue. Keep your awareness. Keeping your awareness keeps you safe." So, one thing that really I thought of as I've really kind of reflected on what Thich Nhat Hanh is saying here is that he's presenting this like you're talking to another person, but this really can be an internal, like a self compassion also. So, when we listen to ourselves, to our own heart, we can kind of empty ourselves. We can free ourselves of any pain and suffering, any thorns in our own heart. So even if we have like wrong perceptions when we're, talking to ourselves in a, um, judgmental way, that we just continue to listen and pay attention and keeping the heart open. So as we start here, we're just going to sit in a way that we bring awareness to the space around the heart, the whole chest. So we're bringing even the rib cage. You might take your hands on your rib cage and like lift up your ribs a little bit. Like feel and breathe into your ribs, and then reach your arms way out to the side and just feel that spaciousness around the ribs. And just breathe here. And then take the arms forward a little bit and breathe into your back ribs. And then bring your arms behind you a little bit and breathe into the front ribs. And just do this back and forth. This is like a little cat and cow action. And you're lifting the ribs the whole time. So just doing this action to kind of feel into this space. Forward, back. The lower ribs, the upper ribs, the whole space of the chest cavity. And then we're just going to I'm dropping my right hand down, reaching up my left, and feel into the side, that left side of the ribs. Kind of moving a little bit, just feel the whole space of the side. And then just switch, taking the left hand down, that right arm up, and breathe and feel. So, I'm not lifting my shoulders up at all. I'm really focusing on the side of the body and breathing. It's really easy for the little spaces in between your ribs to get really tight. Just, we'll do this a little bit back and forth, just because gravity is kind of collapsing and crushing the chest a little bit. So breathe and feel into all this space. Whole ribs. You might even, as you're doing this, be feeling the kind of the collarbone area. Ah, good. And then as we let this go, the arms come down and we're going to move. One thing I'm going to have you maybe gather today is to have some kind of a blanket. I have this kind of classic yoga blanket that's a little thicker, provides some loft in a way. And we're actually going to start with this rolling of this blanket. Sometimes even a really heavy towel can work. And I'm going to open it up pretty big so that this roll is going to start as a smaller roll. Okay, so as I roll this up, it's a way of, we could say, kind of passively opening the chest. You can even use like a larger pillow if that's what you have nearby. Just so as we're doing this, that your butt stays on the floor. And as you lay back here, please make sure that you're not pushing your shoulders up to your ears as you do this. So as you lay back, you kind of have to like wiggle your shoulders down and your shoulder blades down. Now your arms are going to go right above the blanket. And you're just going to breathe here and feel how the blanket is pressing kind of right behind your heart and opening this kind of front door of the heart, letting it open. So your butt is down, your head is down. My shoulders are not really grounded down, and that doesn't matter so much. What matters is that you're not pushing the shoulders up towards the ears. And that you can breathe and just feel how this is just naturally like opening front of the chest, even like feeling your ribs opening up. There's pressure on your thoracic vertebra behind you. Lifting the heart and just breathe. Let this slightly tip back your head so that you can feel your nostrils, your sinuses kind of open up here a little bit. And then you're going to reach your arms towards the ceiling, but do not lift your shoulders very much. So you stay wide across your chest and you're just going to start to reach your arms up above your head. Point the thumbs towards the floor and maybe let the thumb tips touch the floor. Breathe here. And then just bring the arms up and reach the fingers to the ceiling. And then reach your arms up above your head again. Lightly your thumb tips touch. Arms come up, reach fingers to the ceiling, and just breathe as you do this a few times. Feel the space of the chest, really nice and open. Good. And then as we let this go, you're going to lift your head up. As you lift your head, you could use your elbows a little bit and just push yourself back up to seated. As you come on to seated, we're just kind of roll around here onto all fours. So we just rotate, move the blanket out of the way, and on all fours, go ahead and take cow pose first, because this is what we were just doing with that blanket, pressing on the back. So keep the spine in, keep your chest reaching forward here. Just the right lift of the chin. Breathe into your chest, feel the side ribs. Now, kind of slowly, you're going to start to tuck your tailbone under. You're going to kind of sneak into cat pose and notice the difference, because now the back door of the heart is going to open up. Drop your head. Press down. Good. And then we're going to just do this back and forth with your breath. You inhale. You move back to that cow pose, and then you exhale and you go to your cat. So be aware of your chest as you do this back and forth. Nice, steady movement. So this idea of, as I use the Thich Nhat Hanh words, of just kind of emptying your heart. If there's that kind of idea of like the thorns of the heart, as we just breathe and move, allow this heart energy to flow. We have this, you could be aware, this is called the heart chakra, this energy vortex around the heart. You might even feel the little spaces in, between your ribs, how there can be a lot of stiffness in the actual rib cage. So we're just starting to loosen that up here. Now go ahead and let your toes tuck under. And as you start to move to downward facing dog, bring awareness to your feet. And just start to kind of walk your feet here a little bit, which means that one heel drops down and the other heel lifts up. Let this move back and forth, just getting that both the strength and mobility through your feet and your ankles, through your shins, your calves, the lower legs. But as you keep doing this, as you're kind of walking your feet a little bit, bring your full awareness, or let's say half of your awareness, to your chest. Feel the space around the heart. And you can feel now your lungs, just imagine the lungs, the nice deep inhale, filling the lungs. The rib cage itself expanding and contracting. Good. And then we're going to take the knees down. Just drop the knees down back to all fours. Keep the space in your chest. And this might naturally really align your neck, your head. Take the knees close together. And then we'll just do this back and forth where you lift the right knee up, out to the side. Fire hydrant pose. And then it drops down. And then the left leg lifts up to the left. Opening, and then it comes down, and we go back and forth. But as you're going back and forth, you're going to take part of your awareness to your chest. And just notice the space of the chest staying open. Even feeling, as you're breathing, imagine the lungs, the flow of breath from your nostrils, filling the chest. kind of the happy space of the chest and around your heart. Good. And then taking the hands forward. Um, let's walk the fingertips forward and move into that Anahata Asana. So, Anahata is the heart chakra. And you're going to reach your hips back and just let your heart drop down to the floor. So, I'm up on fingertips, letting the heart drop down. Keep your arms really straight here. The sense here is like your spine is really dropping down into your body. Good. And then as you come up, mindfully hands down as you go back to down dog. And this time, just with that awareness of what your heels are doing, you could now lift both heels up and then lower both heels down. Lift both heels up, lower the heels down. Now, the whole time as you're doing this, you're going to bring awareness to your chest. And keeping the space of the chest really open. Front of the chest, back of the chest, side ribs. Like each breath is, really uprooting any tension around the ribs. Through your whole spine. Let's go ahead and walk the feet forward. And come all the way up, pushing into the feet. Arms now just reach out to the side. Grounding. Flow through the spine. Just the right positioning of the whole rib cage. Even around the collarbone area. Now we're going to bring the arms down a little bit. I'm just keeping like my palms facing forward. And we're going to lift and lower the heels. Just letting this lift up, lower down, lifting, lowering, waking up this strength around the ankles, the whole network of muscles. So there's a strength and that kind of mobility. Notice how it might help to bring consciousness to the balls of your feet and how they widen and kind of a vastness across the balls of the feet that you can press into as you lift and lower. And be aware of your chest now as you're doing this. Kind of lightness. You're pressing down, but there's a lightness around the whole chest, the throat. Good. And then as we let this go, let's take the ribs for a twist. So the feet can move apart a little bit and then just let the ribs rotate, rotate, rotate. And really observing here, like as you're now asking the whole chest to twist, twist, to see if this, brings in any like, feeling like, I can't breathe, as I do this. So we're doing this to really increase this real free breathing. If we want to use this, mindful breathing, like Thich Nhat Hanh was saying, when we're listening, we have to have this mindful breath. So this nice steady breath keeps everything flowing and open. So we don't contract around our heart all of a sudden. So this is called compassion. Oh. Where we can see, we can kind of be with pain and suffering. Whether it's our own, it's someone else's, it's just the pain of the world, that we can just stay open, just breath by breath. So these movements then, in a very physical way, really prepare us. Good. Now, as we let this go, we're going to take a little bit of a squat. The feet now are more parallel, and this little bit of a squat means that your knees bend, and then quite naturally you'll bend at your hips, right, as you're in a squat. But the ankles are nice and strong. In fact, in your little squat here, you can still kind of lift and lower your heels. That strength through your ankles, just lifting up, lowering down a little bit. Kind of play with that. And then ankles nice and strong as you move into like a cat pose. So you're going to reach forward. You're opening like that back door of the heart. And then you go to your cow. So you just reach your arms out to the side or back a little bit. Open that front door of the heart. And we just go back and forth while holding this kind of chair pose. Squat. So breathe and feel your rib cage. Like, I'm doing this to get into, this is both contracting and expanding the front ribs, back ribs, the little intercostal muscles. Ah. Just as full, this repetition. Expanding this capacity, then that even your lungs and your heart have a little more room to function. Good, and then just standing, mountain pose. Breathe and feel chest, just this, the whole time, like we're bringing in this like, uplifting, and this becomes like our normal is with this openness of the whole space of the chest, kind of heart-led. So whether we're doing a yoga pose or we're just walking in the world, we're just heart-led. Let's move up towards the front of the mat, do some sun salutes, palms together in front of the heart. As soon as the hands are placed here, it's like a reminder, yes. Thumbs lightly touching the sternum lifting up, heart opening, all directions. Arms sweeping up here, keep the arms up. And yes, again, we're going to lift the heels, lower the heels, lifting and lowering. Practicing. And then the heels stay down, the arms reach out to the side, you move to your full forward bend. Now, if you wish, in your full forward bend here, you'll want to be able to touch something. So if you're not touching the floor, you might use a block. And we're going to lift the heels, and we're going to lower the heels. And so you really can see here this lifting straight up, lowering down, lifting up, lowering down. So you just want to make sure as you're doing this that you don't want to be like lifting up and kind of drooping the ankles out to the side,
or in at all. It really does. It's very focused on that. You might lift and pause for a moment. Get into that alignment, the lengthening of your inner and outer ankles. You might even have your fingers down, and as you're doing this, your chest is nice and open. So you're not collapsing your chest at all or squishing your lungs or heart. Good. And then we'll just shift back to downward facing dog. However you want to move into your down dog. So yes, in down dog, we do reach the heels down, but at the same time, you have to keep the chest really open. So breathe and feel. The back door of the heart, the front door, the side doors are all open. Oh, the little muscles in the ribs open. And then moving to your plank. Breathe, feel your whole body. Mindful breathing, keeping you connected. Just seeing your own goodness. Lightly the knees touch down, and then you lower onto the floor. Legs reach back. And then this kind of heart-led cobra pose as you lift up here. Lifting just right. So definitely the heart reaching forward here. That front door is opening up. Connecting, mindful breathing, compassion. And this really deepens our understanding and builds this beautiful relationship with the body. You know, seeing even things like there's work to be done. Having a body requires some work. Let's move back to down dog, just lifting up here and feeling, just the right effort of reaching your heels down while keeping this vast space in the chest. Like breathe into the whole barrel of the rib cage. Like it's all expanding as you inhale and a little contracting as you exhale. Evenly. And then let's go ahead and just step the right foot forward. Take a nice big step up. And the back foot, that left heel foot will drop down as you move into warrior one. So as you lift up here, keep the back leg straight. Draw the tailbone in. Push into the feet and then just feel the whole rib cage. Oh, and how the arms just reach up here. In a way, this is what we were doing right at the beginning of class, with that blanket you were laying on. You were reaching your arms up, how your thumb tips were touching the floor. Might have that similar upper body quality. Grounding, lifting. Now, draw your navel in, lift the back heel up so that your back foot kind of pushes you into warrior three. Even just like a moderate warrior three pose. Warrior three really wakes up, the whole body strong, that full body strength. So the chest nice and open. Lifting up now to tree pose. So we kind of play with these two balance poses, staying very grounded. That left foot, mindful position. Where is it going to go today?
so that you're grounding and you're aware of the whole barrel of the ribs. Arms move to an appropriate position. Strong, steady, stable. Deep, what we call pure awareness. Has no agenda. Keep the lightness around the heart as you let go of tree pose and place the foot down, taking palms together in front of the heart. And then as you reach your arms up, you're going to lift and lower your heels. Just practice, practice. Lifting, lowering, nice and strong. If this does not feel strong, if it feels wobbly, a really good thing to do is just go over to the wall and lift and lower the heels while you're touching the wall. Even touching something can be really helpful. You know, like, oh boy, I really need to practice this with a little help, you know. Then you're now, like, I'm not going to fall over when I'm doing this. So that little teeny assist can be really great. But there is something about that, like that core strength when you're not using anything. Good. And then keep the heels down, move into your squat, into your Utkatasana. Breathe and take a couple cat and cow here. So that open the back door of the heart in your cat and the front door in cow. Back and forth. You know, keeping the ankles really strong here. This is a good one to be able to sit like this and keep those like little girders strong in your ankles. Not collapsing or drooping at all. Good. Good. Space in your chest. Letting this move. Ah, good. And then as we let go into full forward bend, your Uttanasana. Breathing. And practice here. Lift the heels, lower down. Keeping the breath, flowing the chest open, lifting and lowering. You could play with lifting your heels, bending your knees. Straightening the legs and then heels down. And then back to downward facing dog. Hands just right, getting the feet, ankles, legs parallel. The reaching back of the hips. And then breathe into the chest, feel the whole space opening up. Moving to plank. So you could certainly lower onto the floor if you want to, and practicing a back bend there, or if you want to move right into upward facing dog, there's a little bend of the elbows, you roll over the toes,
And reach your heart forward. Ah, your up dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Lifting up, back to down dog. Keeping the chest open, awareness of that breath, energy flowing, heart space open. And then as you look forward, that left foot is going to step forward. And as you go to warrior one here, the right foot drops. As you lift up away from the floor, we really ground. You want to get just the right footing here. Tailbone draws in. And then the lift of the chest and then the arms. So breathe and feel into the space of the chest. That, again, how the thumbs, those like your thumb tips on the floor, feel how that blanket was pressing on the chest. But we really do need to keep the back leg straight and that drawing in of the tailbone. Now draw your navel in and use your back toes, your back foot to kind of push you forward onto the left leg to warrior three. Reach the right leg back, balance. Left leg straight up and down. Chest open, breath flowing freely. And then you lift your navel, you come up to your tree pose. Wherever it makes sense for that right foot to be placed in your tree pose today. Sensing that being grounded, now the strong left ankle. And then the chest, that space of the chest in a way the whole barrel is balanced and open. Whatever feels right for your arms. Stronger, like more, the consciousness really moving through your whole body. Keeping the heart really light and open as you let go of this. We practice keeping awareness around this mindful breathing and therefore the heart space. And sometimes, as we let this go, let's take palms together in front of the heart. There will be times that this gets like uncomfortable. Like we understand compassion takes work. There is effort. It doesn't accidentally stay open. So, arms are going to sweep up. You're going to lift and lower your heels a few times. And then we're going to go right to forward bend. And you're going to step right back to your plank pose. Now we're going to go ahead and lower. We're going to lower right onto the belly. So practice your own way, lowering all the way down. And from here, we're going to do that kind of play with the two back bends of Shalabhasana and upward facing dog. with a lot of awareness around the chest, the heart, kind of the back bend that's required in these poses. So the arms at first go back, the legs lift, the heart reaching forward. So in our like upward facing dog, we really have this kind of same energy around the heart, even this arm placement, how the notice how your arms are behind you now. How the whole body really is doing a back bend in Shalabhasana. So we'll place hands now near your lower ribs. Keep your elbows in, stay wide across your chest. Really feel this wide open barrel of the chest and push right into the hands and lift up dog. Pushing into the hands, but also the tops of the feet push down. Now, go ahead and slowly lower down, go right into your Shalabhasana. So the arms reach back. So we have that same feeling of this, the back bend, which is the whole back body contracting. Go right into up dog. You lift up. And lowering down, Shalabhasana. So breathe, keep feeling this space around the heart. Up dog. Same openness of the chest. Shalabhasana, you lower down. Ah. And then mindfully to downward facing dog. So toes are under. Notice that difference in the ankles as you come up. And as you go back to downward facing dog, keeping the chest open. So we have the arms in flexion now and the hips in flexion, but we have the same spaciousness in the chest. Not really, not a back bend. We're just extending the spine, but upward facing dog, kind of the front door of the heart is mostly open. Downward facing dog really opens all of the doors. Front of the front door, the back door of the heart, the side doors, all open up. Walking the feet forward. Coming up, push into the feet. Arms reach up. Take palms together in front of the heart. So as we take the arms down, we're going to practice our standing twist. So this is kind of a balance. If you want to use an object, you can. Chair, wall. But I just want to even bring awareness to the chest here as we're practicing this. So this is actually, you don't have to use a prop at all if you want to do this. So this is our balance where we're going to balance right now on the right leg. And you're going to lift your left knee up and just pause here and get into the feeling of the chest, nice and open. All of this space which we need to twist. So as you twist, you're going to take your right hand across, hold that left thigh. Feel the barrel. Chest nice and open as you start to rotate and open to your left. So if you're doing this at the wall, you would have your left side body facing the wall. And you would just you could have your left fingers on the wall as you twist open. So feeling, it can really matter to feel that whole space of your ribs. And therefore the spine twisting. Be your whole neck, the neck, shoulders, what's happening as you're twisting the upper chest.
And then you untwist. You stay tall as you let go. You just bring weight now over to your left leg. Lift the right knee up. The whole chest has all this space, and then like the whole spine will naturally have space. That left hand reaches across, holds your right thigh up, and you twist. And just feel the rib cage. You breathe and get all that little space in there so you're not, the ribs themselves are not like gripping and tightening. So this brings lots of space into our twist, which we really need. Untwisting as you let go, pause. Let's just take this one more time. A little self-study. Balance on the right leg. That left thigh is fairly parallel to the floor. Another really nice kind of variation of this is just to stand on your right leg and take your left foot on a chair or a couch. So you have that little assist, but make sure you're not like leaning forward at all. So twisting, opening with that little bit of support. Feel the ribs. Breathe, feel the whole space of the chest here, that you're not tightening anywhere. It's very opening. And then releasing, untwist, stay tall as you let go. Switching. So again, whether you want to just hold your leg up, place that foot on an object, but strong standing leg. So feel like that girder of your standing leg as you lift your ribs and you twist to your right. So we make sure that as you're twisting, you're still lifting your ribs up. As you're twisting, you don't want to feel the crush down of your rib cage, especially that lower edge of your ribs. Like it really does lift up. Reaching back, just the right amount of effort. Spacious. The spaciousness leads to that pure awareness and that deep self-study that leads to compassion. Untwist, letting go. Feet down. So let's take this then into, that pose you just did, really so naturally is a progression into our revolved triangle pose. So our last two standing poses are going to be kind of side-by-side comparison of triangle pose and then revolved triangle pose. So step sideways on your mat so you can step the feet wide apart. And as we move right into triangle pose, we're going to open the right foot, take triangle to the right. Notice my left toes pointed in a little bit, strong legs, and get into that creasing right deep in your right hip, that little crease. Now the chest, really keep this lifting up of your chest. It's so easy when we go into triangle to kind of collapse down in the chest. So all this awareness, this heightened sensitivity of what's happening in the chest. So very light touch, right hand on the leg. Breathe, feel all the doors stay open when we're in spinal extension. It's good to notice in this pose, the side doors, like what happens to the right side door? Does it close? You want to keep that open. Reaching the top arm up and just breathe and feel here. Choosing wisely your foot placement, your like how far down your right hand is reaching. So you can keep the doors open. We breathe. Ah. Pushing into your feet, you come up, you lift the whole chest. So we're just going to take the other side first before we go into our revolve. Pivot your feet. So we're preparing for left side. Legs are strong, straightening. And you have that crease deep in that left hip. As soon as you do that, as soon as you hinge in the hip, notice if the chest or if the little rib, the spaces between your ribs, like if they compress. So we want to keep this nice and open as you go into your triangle. And not just a lift of the chest, like all the doors stay open. So taking that left hand maybe at a moderate position, like a little higher up your leg, and feel the doors. Breathing, connecting, mindful breathing. Top arm reaching up. Mindful kind of graduating into your full pose. Push into the feet, coming up. And then as you take your feet parallel, let's do just kind of a wide-legged down dog. So that means you hinge at your hips. You're going to reach your hands forward, just like down dog. Again, down dog is spinal extension. So we keep all the doors open. Reach your pubic bone way back. Breathe and feel the chest. As you let go, hands walk back. Good. So now as you come up, we are going to open the right foot to the right. And I have my block ready for my revolve triangle. So as we open that right foot to the right and the left toes really point in, revolve triangle actually faces this right leg. In fact, I like to start this one by grounding the back heel, lifting the chest. So this revolve triangle, we hinge at the hips. I like to take my block on my inner foot at first here. Kind of testing the waters. So as I hinge forward, I lightly place my left hand on the block. Keeping right hand on your hip. And notice how this feels, like through your chest. So this is a spinal extension because we're twisting. So if we're extending, we keep all the doors open, right? Lengthen the right leg and start to twist open to the right. Breathe and feel the chest. Maybe reaching the right arm up, ground your feet. Feet are so important in this, what I call this a balance pose. And opening. Lengthen the spine. Open the whole chest. Head really nice and connected. Neck is long. Untwist. And then push right into your feet to come up. So I'm going to grab my block as I rotate to the other side. So I'm going to rotate, open left foot to the left. Even notice my right foot, like it's really pointing towards the left. Straightening both legs, lift the chest. Get all this nice space in the chest as you hinge forward. So we want to be able to use a block height where you're not rounding your back here. This is so important when we're twisting. So that block height, your right hand is on your block. Go ahead and lengthen your spine and feel the space in your chest. A lot of this is that your feet are really pushing down. Legs are straightening and sending energy up through your spine. And then the twisting, you bring space into your chest. Ground the back heel. Twisting open, maybe left arm reaching up. Lengthen the space in your chest. Through the throat, all the way to your brain. Mindful connection. As you untwist, push into your feet, you come up, and we'll take the feet back to parallel. So you're just back in a wide-legged position. We're going to take the hands behind, interlace your fingers, and draw your shoulder blades together. There's the heart, nice and open, as you move into a forward bend. So now you might have kind of soft knees. Draw your shoulder blades together. Drop your head. And just go a little back and forth. Like you bend your right knee a little more. You bend your left knee. You let this go back and forth. But the front door of the heart is very open. Spine kind of draping here. And then we're just going to come up, push into the feet, come all the way up. The feet step together. And then just let the arms swing here. Loose, loose. Good. And so we're going to move onto the floor. We're going to take our bridge pose. I feel like this heart opening work would not be complete without a bridge pose. Yeah, and I happen to have my block here, so I am going to include using the block as a prop. Okay, if you don't have a block, you could you'll be practicing just moving in and out of bridge pose. Okay, so reclining. Preparing your positioning, like your shoulders. Make sure your spine is lengthening. You have your block nearby. Arms are down at first. So even here, like already the chest is open. This is a back bend, so it's really going to open that front door of the heart. We start by pushing the feet down and lifting the butt away from the floor. Strong. Draw the tailbone up. Lifting now the heart. The sternum lifts up. Breathe and feel your whole chest. Maybe roll your shoulders underneath a bit. So with the block, if you happen to have a block here, the block goes under your sacrum so that we can focus on the upper chest. The effort of really lifting the breastbone, making sure your neck and your throat are very comfortable. I'm grounding my upper arms,
Letting the breastbone lift up. Opening across the uppermost chest area. Really soft eyes and relaxed brain here. And if you want to, you could take this variation of Viparita Karani, where you lift your feet up. Now you have to keep lifting your heart. That's why I love this one, for that lift of the upper chest. So when you lift your feet up, you stay really grounded. You know, the kind of shoulder, upper back area is grounded, and you start to reach your legs straight up. So now there's this little inversion, through your legs, a little inverse flow. Breathe. So yeah, there's effort, there's strength, legs up. But here's that mindful breath where you keep listening. So no matter what arises here, you keep compassion flowing, a deep understanding like, well, of course the body would feel this way due to these causes and conditions. This is how my body is now. No matter what, there's nothing that makes my body unlovable. Keep lifting the chest. Breathe and feel the space of the chest. And then just gradually you bend your knees. Keep the chest lifted, the heart lifted up. And then drop your feet down to the floor. You're back to your bridge pose. And we'll just stay here for just a few more breaths. And I'm going to invite you that as you're taking that deep exhale, that as you or inhale, and then as you exhale, that you just release with like an actual vibration sound. You could do a hum, or the sound of yum. This is both like the throat, the heart chakra. The throat is our communication, and the heart is compassion. Yum. Letting that hum start to, the vibration itself just starts to open these spaces it's like a natural way, releasing any tension. Yeah. And then you go ahead and you push into your feet, nice and strong as you lift away from your block. Like notice the strength. And then as you remove your block, even the lowering down here, mindfully, gradually down. As you lower, just rearrange your bones. Letting the spine just be neutral, but the floor itself is a nice spine extender. Now take the arms out to the side. We'll do just our final little action here where you lift your feet up, you take your legs together. So your back muscles are really strong as you just drop your legs a little bit back and forth. Little twist. Keep your awareness in your chest and the space around your chest. How the upper body is very grounded as you're doing this, just rocking, twisting movement. So, yeah, this is a twist that rather than the ribs moving in order to twist, that your lower body is moving. So, we really just keep the upper body just open and relaxed. The feeling of the extending through the spine, like I'm twisting. I'm going to keep nice space and fluidity. Ah. And then as you pause, you just drop your feet down to the floor, taking a couple breaths in this pose of the Ardha Shavasana, half Shavasana. Being really sensitive now of how the space in the chest and then how your bones feel, like how your joints feel as you transition to your Shavasana. I invite you to not skip over this part. Stay present. So at first, just make sure all of the bones and the joints are comfortable and that you really can just let go. What happens in Shavasana is we just know, like the mind is in a knowing state. It knows what's going on, which is I'm practicing letting go. Finding then a physical position where you can be motionless, knowing I'm completely still now. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Notice that your breathing do not interrupt the rhythm of your breath. Rather, just sense, just be aware of the space around your chest. Now, if your awareness leads you to some skillful readjustment, you can allow that to happen. Otherwise, practice just being with the space of your chest. So now we're not doing any movement. You just see what happens to the energy, the letting go of tension without moving. Just awareness and intention to be free. May I be free of tension. May breath just flow naturally.
You're knowing the breath, but in a way, kind of a bystander, just observing, watching a river. It wouldn't make sense to get in the river and start to push it. Just like the breath now, you're just watching. You could expand your awareness to feel now the whole body, knowing I'm aware of my whole body. I'm practicing Shavasana. I'm practicing letting go. No effort. Bringing awareness to the body, knowing rather than being distracted and not knowing that you're right here with the body. What do you notice as you bring awareness to your belly? Bring awareness to your spine, your back body. Aware of the space around your skull, around your eyes. This movement of consciousness around the body is a practice of self compassion. We're just looking around like, may I be free of tension. May I practice letting go, keeping the heart open. So the breath kind of sweeping around the heart. Really just practicing this kind of efficient transitions from laying on the floor. Might be really aware. You bend your knees, or there is this transition of the whole body moving back up to seated. Noticing then what's been awakened, like what that space around the chest, like the heart, what it feels like. Taking palms together in front of the heart. May our practice continue. May we allow just this natural growth as we stay close to the heart, as we do the work of compassion. We'll close with the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. Mm. Thank you so much for your work, for your practice, your effort. Um, so today is June 8th. It is Tuesday. And just as a reminder, so we're on the Common Ground channel. And I also hold a class on Friday morning. And this is more of a level one class. So on Friday, I'll be doing kind of the same kind of heart theme with just a level one of the poses that I'll be um, teaching. So remember that these classes are always on in our archives, so you could always watch them over and over again. And just that reminder too that all of these class offerings are done in the spirit of generosity, so that it's really open for everyone to do the receive these teachings, do this practice together. If you want to, you could support me and Common Ground, and you could do that on the Common Ground website pretty easily. I think down below here, there's a link. There's a couple links. There's the one to the Common Ground, how to support the center. And just so you know, too, my website is also listed down there. And there it will, if you go there, there's like all the class offerings that I offer during the week. Wishing you a wonderful practice, and I hope to see you soon.